Hey guys, and welcome to the Marvel Sports Worldwide Show podcast. I'm Brennan.
Worldwide Show podcast? I'm Commander Wolf. Oh my word.
See, it's always an effort to throw Waff off his game there. And clearly it did, because he didn't do his intro right. But that's good. That's a good thing. And we are here. This is the fourth episode in pertaining to this Marble League 2023. So enjoy that, I guess. We've gotten through a lot of long episodes. This one looking shorter. We only have 2 events to cover, though we do have a guest with us today, so that should be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I nothing much new in my life. I did bike like 3 hours yesterday because I wanted to go to a disc golf course, and I went all the way out to some other college. They had one on their campus.
Oh, wow.
It was such a long bike ride, and I forgot that when you bike, it's not just a chill-ass ride. There are hills. And some hills were really hard, and I was like, oh, this is impossible. But the downhill, it was more downhill on the way back, so that was kind of a nice ride. Then it got cold, so it was all around hard, but it was fun. My legs definitely hurt. Actually, they're not that sore. I'm surprised they're not that sore. I'm expecting them to be really bad today, but they're actually totally fine. So there's a little bit sore, a little normal soreness. But yeah, I did that yesterday. The course was really nice too. Longer course than the one I went to before with my friend, good 300, 400 foot holes. So I was overall just having a lot of fun yesterday. And then also the soundtrack for Wave 6. So the Mario Kart 8 series is finally done. The Wave 6 came out. So unless they're going to do another set of waves for new tracks in that game and really fill that one game up with retro tracks or whatever, it's done. The Wave 6 is out. The extra set of 12 cups is complete for anyone who follows Mario Kart or even thinks about it. So that leaves a lot of interesting things. Are we going to go into a Mario Kart 9? What's going to happen over the next 5-10 years? You'd think a Mario Kart 9's next in 5 years. Or Mario Kart X, that people are saying, because Tour is technically 9. So we'll see. I would be excited for a new Mario Kart for reals, but yeah, who knows? The Wave came out. I like to listen to the soundtrack. That came out. The songs are pretty good. And they have a new staff credits. I have always... I might have mentioned before a long time ago that me and my friend ranked every single Mario Kart song from every series, every single song, the whole ranking, worst to best. And so it's 400-something songs, and we keep adding all the new ones as they come out. So we're almost at 500. And at the top of that list, the number one on that list is the staff credits for Mario Kart 8, because it is just a jazz fusion masterpiece. And it's not like a loop, because it's not like an in-game track song. Even the good ones today, Big Blue or something like that, the really awesome songs from Mario Kart 8, they're still loops, right? They still have a point in the song where they kind of repeat the whole thing, because that's how track songs work. But this staff credit's a 4-minute long song, jazz fusion, solos in there, the whole deal. And so that one is sat at the top of the list, unchallenged forever, basically. And now this other staff credits comes out for after all the waves, the bonus waves. And low-key, it's not better. I think I'd put it at number 2, but it was so cool to hear another version of them medleying all the songs from a particular set of cups, and it's a really good song. Even if you're not a big Mario Kart fan, check out the staff credits for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Wave Booster Pass credits, or whatever it's called. So, honestly, I'm excited about that because I love good soundtrack music and whatnot, so... So there's those 2 things that are new. So there you go. Let's turn it over to Waff. What's new with him? He winced at that. That was so funny. Everybody
sudden.
Everybody probably winced at that. That was so funny.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, guys. I have to keep him on his toes there.
Well, for me, today is my birthday. So yeah, I turned 26 today. I celebrated early yesterday with my family. We went to do an escape room. It was basically the California Gold Rush, and that was a lot of fun. Came back, hung out with some friends online, got some cool gifts. It's just, my brother got me a 30th anniversary Kirby jigsaw puzzle. It's 1,000 pieces, but a lot of the background space is just solid pink. So like it's gonna be a nightmare to finish that puzzle.
That's wild. Solid pink, dude. There's no way.
Yeah, it's gonna be something. But like it was a lot of fun, hanging out with people and all that stuff. Thank you everybody for saying happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Waf.
Thank you.
Wait, so you're actually 26.
Yep.
Bruh, that's crazy. You're like gonna be dead. That's wild.
Everyone's like, man, you're so old. One of my friends calls me a dinosaur. You call it something to be dead soon.
Yeah, dude, you will, like, dude, I'll be speaking at your funeral, man.
Oh my gosh.
Dang, Waf, imagine being 26. But you know what? It's good. It's good to be 26.
Yeah, like you're only like 21, right?
21.
And so like we're like 5 years apart. It's kind of hard to think about that honestly every time. It's kind of crazy.
But life's moving quick. I'll be 22 in May, and then 22. Like what? I'm like coming out of college, bro. Life's crazy. I still am like single. I mean, the whole deal. Like I gotta find somebody. Love life, Waf. Talk about your love life.
I have no one. I mean, I think I'm gonna consider trying to look for someone now that my life is more stable. But like personally, I just have not been like looking for someone. I didn't think I could fit it into my life or my schedule. Honestly,
that's fair. Some people, everybody has different reasons for being single. Some people literally like, I have too much else to focus on right now. I can't make that kind of commitment, and that's totally fair. Have you ever little Waf trivia for us? Have you ever been in a relationship before? Have you ever dated before?
I think technically I did. Like, I think it counts as a date. Like, for my my senior prom, one of my friends introduced me to this girl who didn't have something like we had fun at the dance, and like later after the prom, I tried taking her up to see Captain America: Winter Soldier. Like it was in theaters at the time, so that I think that technically counted as a date. Just to kind of see if anything connected there, but I didn't really feel anything, so like it just kind of stopped there.
And
so
was she like into you though, or like what was going on?
I felt like she might have been into me,
dang,
at least a little bit, but like I gave it a shot, and like I just personally didn't feel anything. But like my dating experience is very minimal, so maybe I just maybe just gave it more of a shot. But like for me personally, I didn't feel it. It wasn't there for me.
Oh, dang, Waf. Dude, I understand, though. I understand. Not everybody's it. There's only one person that can be it. You know what I'm saying? There's only one special person for everybody. Probably. So
I mean, there might be more than one, but like it's like to find someone who like really connects with you.
To find one that can be out of like because most can't, right? That's the idea. Most can't. There's of all the 7 billion, there's probably many that could be the one, and it'd be great. But most aren't, so that's the idea, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but eventually, that woman will shove her way into your life, and you'll be like, "All right,
all right, I guess I'm doing this."
I know, it'll work out wonderfully. Be patient.
Yeah.
So anyway, Waf will be married soon, so we'll have to all prepare for that. I'll give an update on my fantasy league at his wedding, in the wedding speech.
Oh my gosh, that's what you're gonna do.
I'll talk about why I don't like Maze Run. That will be my wedding speech, and that will be very, very pertinent to the situation, because your wife would have to know that you're marbly.
They would know a lot about me. I'm pretty sure they're like, oh yeah, I'm a massive nerd who's into a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Speaking of Marvel stuff, JMR like changed their schedule. I guess we should just bring that up real quick. So like they're gonna actually do like 2 events a week, and then like the last 2 events will be 1 a week. So 15 will be on 1 week, 16 will be on another. So we'll actually have 2 more MSW episodes for this season, I guess.
I think more than that, right? Because we got
like 2 more added on to what we were gonna do before.
12 and 13, yeah. So 12 and 13 come this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have an episode, and then 14 and 15 same week, or 14 then 15 then 16.
I think it's. I could have sworn that 14 was on the same week as another event. I thought.
Well, 14 is not even on the schedule right now, and the 18th is the end of this week. So it might be 14 and 15 and then 16, or it might be 14 then 15 then 16. Either way, that would be an episode the coming week. It's now episode the coming week. That will be our first episode with our new sponsor, because those things finally came in, and you'll learn about that next week. It's funny, a sponsor reached out and wanted us for the show, and they're gonna sponsor us, and then right as they do that, we're like, oh yeah, we're kind of like not doing the show anymore, but we get like 3 episodes in with them at least, maybe a 4th when we get Akanon on here. He can do the ad read, but that'll be one at the end of this week, one now at the end of this week, then another one probably with 14 and 15, and then a 4th one with 16, and then if Akanon hasn't come on to argue, a 5th. So 5 more tops, 4 more likely, and then things will be dormant for a long foreseeable future. But bringing this B-related Marble League to a close. Marbles, we're going to have to talk about them after the news, so let's get to the news, and then when we come back, we got a guest, and we got some stuff to talk about, and a little bit of a trivia game between me and the Waff Man. Time for the news.
Hello, Marble Sports fans! I'm Commander Wolf here with the Marble Sports Worldwide News. First up, we have Event 10 of Marble League 2023, the 5-meter relay run. In a very close photo finish, Team Momo came in first, followed by the Thunderbolts in second, and Team Galactic in third. Then we have Event 11, Maze Run. As the name would suggest, the marbles would race through a maze of Hubalino tracks. By the end, Kinwin came in first, followed by Astron in second, and Snowblast in third. And now for some non-JMR news, we have the Majora Cup Season 1 Qualifiers Part 2 with funnels and balancing. After the conclusion of these 2 events, the 12 teams that'll be moving on have been decided. Best of luck to all of them for the events to come. Then we have Event 1 of the Team Quadrilla Marble League Season 4 Distance Drag, where the marbles competed to see who could reach the furthest distance. After multiple heats, Sapphire from the Aquamarines came in first, followed by Python from the Venomous Vipers in second, and Carnation from the Red Lotus in third. And lastly, we have Week 3 of the Adventure Marble League Marbula 1 competition. The rankings are starting to stratify, so best of luck to all the competitors who are fighting for the top. Well, that's all for the news. Thank you for listening. I'm Commander Wolf. You are the best fans in the world. Let's kick it on back with a podcast.
Okay. We were back from the news.
We are. Indeed.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. I wanted to make that awkward. Now, we have our guest today. Let's introduce him to everybody. We've had him on before, but he's back on again. I think for the 3rd or 4th time at this point. His name is Yak.
Yes. Welcome, Super Yak.
Hello there.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing good.
And imagine if the podcast was only Waff.
I'm shy.
That was funny right there.
You're
not wrong.
That's wild. But people know him as Super Yak in the server or in other places. I call him Trivia Yak because he's very trivia oriented. He's done the trivia games for me and Waff every time in our shows that we've done that. I think we've done 2, and I've won both of them, by the way. I've won both of them. I continually demonstrate. No, not trivial. Trivia Yak, not trivial Yak. He's just joking. This guy literally says the news will be in the final video. It isn't in this stream. Oh, wow. Yes. It's been doing that for years. But anyway, Trivia Yak has been bringing a lot of joy to the community through trivia. I know they used to do like a trivia server. They used to do a whole thing.
Yeah.
But
is that still going?
It is. It's just slow. It hasn't. The next season hasn't started yet. But
ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, join the once it starts back up, we'll send a invite over here. Yeah, join.
Nice.
It's fun.
But then
Awesome.
those people, some of those people in that, like they know stats. They memorize like tables. You know what I'm saying? Then we fall. I have intuition. It gets me pretty far, right? It's doing me well in A star, but I fall when it's like, okay, give me the actual number of times rapidly as 1 5-meter sprint. I don't know. I just know he's good. But
Yes,
Yeah.
Eliezer, I am referring to Kahoot.
Yeah, I remember the Kahoot. Anyway, yeah, update us in your life. Update us on everything. Your life, your current thoughts on this Marble League 2023 season thus far. Not the new events. We'll talk about them later. Just things going on with you in the marble sports community and trivia and your response to all the other dramas. Just give us a big update. We'll just sit here and listen for a little bit.
Well, life is very busy. I'm in the state of college applications.
Oof.
Give me just a second, please. I need to find some headphones.
Yeah, I know that I heard some feedback there, so I was like, oh no, we got to catch this early.
Yeah.
Put a stamp there for it.
Casey's gonna
I
put.
keep ranting about something I don't know.
Oh my God, Akanon is so bad at everything. Everything he ever says is the worst thing that someone can say. How could he possibly have any of the opinions that he would ever on Super God have about Marvel Sports? He's always wrong. He's always super wrong. He's always extra wrong. He's always triple wrong, except for the times he's right, and I admit it. He's also wrong. Akon, I'm just messing with you, man. Yak said rant, so I had to do what I had to do.
You gotta find something that you're passionate about.
Is this better?
Yeah, that should be good.
Eliezer, it was a joke, man. Yak said rant while he found headphones. And, well, of course, when I think rant, I think argue with Akanon. All right, did you find headphones, Super Yak?
Yes, they are.
All right, back to the original question. Okay, Edu, be mad, but you still come to the show, and you still like the nonsense, okay?
He's just going to skip over this part.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Basically, update us. Like, we wanted to update in your life because we know that lots gone on with you in the community and the trivia stuff. We also want to know where you've been at on your thoughts on this current Marble League and all the events so far, and then also just your regular life. Like you're saying, you're doing college apps and stuff. What's new with the Yak Man?
Yeah, so I've been very busy lately. I actually haven't been that involved in the community over the past little while. I've college application season is almost over, and that is, I will be very, very happy. And then, but in regards to the community, to the Marvel stuff, I'm liking the league so far. My Cyber Speeders are doing well.
Go Speeders!
They're doing well, but not well enough, as I always say. I'm running. I run the individual fantasy for this year.
Right.
Both of y'all, I believe, are on it.
Yes.
Just to humiliate both of y'all, as of right now, Marble Guy's in 11th, and WAF is in 5th. So I think WAF is beating Brendan at this point right now.
I believe so.
It's all right, WAF.
Yeah.
When it comes to individual, I sometimes always do a lot better than you. Every time, I think, so far.
I think I picked like 2 gliding glaciers though, so I'm kind of in the I'm in the doghouse for that.
Yeah, you had Rapozy Tripler, you had Frost and Red Eye as your doublers, and then your regulars were Alpine, Hive, Orange, and Starry, Green Eye, and then your reserve was Cyanide.
I think those were all pretty good, except Cyanide is a mistake, and both gliding glaciers were mistakes.
Yeah, but as opposed to WAF chose a lot of Momo marbles, but Rapozy is his tripler as well. Mo was his doubler. Momo was another double.
What is
Momo's another doubler. What?
No, WAF. Like, he's always very Momo. Like, I have my favorite teams, but I don't go around picking every single mellow yellow marble.
This year, I was just very kind of out of it. I was like, I can't really think of... if I'm thinking that Momo is going to maybe win this year, then like each of the individual marbles would probably do well. So I picked the two that I thought would do the best. I was not admittedly thinking as hard about my picks this year as I was in previous years.
Fair enough. I don't put as much thought into the individual because I feel like it's really hard to know the individual, right? I think you have to because I don't know. I think it takes a lot of, like, you'd have to sit down with a lot of research for that if you really wanted to make what you could consider a wise guess. If not, then you pretty much are just picking individual marbles, but at the end of the day, picking teams that you think are going to do well, right? If I pick individual bumblebees, right, most of the individual bumblebees right now would contribute very well the individual fantasy by nature of the fact that that team's in first place, right? So but I don't.
Same with the snowballs, honestly. Like their individuals are like actually like doing pretty good as opposed to the team events are just atrocious.
Right, yeah. So yeah, like the snowballs do well in the maze race and stuff. So it's hard to know, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm more of an A start guy. But anyway, continue, Yak.
But yeah, no, I'm that's pretty much it for me. You know.
All right.
Cool. Well, good luck on the college apps too. I don't know where you're looking. Are you looking in the Northeast? Where are you looking around?
I'm looking at some places in the Northeast, but you know, they're long shot applications, you know. Always it's nice to apply to some Ivy Leagues, but you know,
Yeah,
probably not
nice.
gonna get in.
Yeah, I mean, these days you have to fill quotas. So if you're not filling the quotas, and I won't go into more detail, you're not getting into an Ivy League, even with a 4.0 and all the other stuff. So just have to accept that. You know, if you wrote your Common App essay, you better be complaining or crying about something that's not actually true, or you're not getting into an Ivy League school. Now, people can say,
I mean,
whoa, but that's true.
I agree with that. I mean, it's especially, but I mean, like, honestly, what I found is you need to be perfect, but you also need to have something special that you're like really, really great at.
Yeah, like
And
rapidly.
everybody thinks they have that, but like, then you meet somebody who has it, and you can tell that they have it.
Exactly, or good at faking it. But I'm not going to, again, go into too much detail into that. Rapidly will get into an Ivy League, though, because Rapidly is special, and he's also all-around perfect.
He was, yes.
Boy.
Ivy Leagues for marbles.
Ivy Leagues for marbles.
Stent,
Okay.
write that down, kid. Someone send that to Stent.
We should start. Yeah, we should start a like a TV series. Just, you know, marbles going to Ivy League.
I've always wondered about a marble league or marble related show or movie, right? And there's like, it's
Marble
like
prequels.
Right, it's some like Disney ass show where marbles like learn to be friends through marble sports, and there's like a disaster at the Marble League Stadium, and there's like an evil marble doing like evil things, and then there's like the hero marble, which is definitely going to be like Speedy, just like saving the day, or I feel like Red Eye would be very active. Dion, no, you just scramble the letters in Dion, or like his name is like Nito or something, or
Nito.
Naughty, or Dino the villain marble.
Dino, yeah.
Everyone would get that. And then there's Yella. You have to scramble that. Like, how would you scramble Yella? Just jelly. We'll just call the marble jelly, and that marble is just like trying to get his Marble League to work out. It'd be a great Disney movie, and then you could turn it into a TV show afterwards, and then maybe it can be on a sitcom later.
I'd want to see a document. I'd want to see a documentary on like college sports with them. Just, you know, like the rivalries in college, like, because we know that the Snowballs went to the Snoranto, so if we like get everything else, just like, you know, somebody went to you know, you have the rivalries of Snoranto versus Marbird, or I don't know, just, you know, get some sort of like rivalries, college prequel rivalries in here.
I think that'd be fun. I really think that stuff is cool. I think that stuff was possible too if JMR went where it was supposed to go, because people who were in charge knew how to be in charge correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because of where things are, and then we don't get Marble movies, we don't get a good Marble video game, we'll have to wait for a different channel to rise up in the future. Maybe I'll be 50 when Marble Sports becomes a multi-million-dollar thing.
Hey, then we all get to go to MarbleCon.
See, no, I know MarbleCon is not going to happen. Dang, right? It's probably not. My faith is low, but one day it might, and if it ever does, that's going to be so exciting.
I would look like I would probably go to it. I don't care where it is. I would go to it.
Yeah, that I think for most of us, we would, because at the point at which it would happen, we'd all be old enough that we can just get up and fly somewhere, and it's not a big deal, right? When you're like 14, you can't
Right.
get up and fly to Australia or Norway or whatever. But when you're like right now,
Yeah.
I'm at the point where if I really wanted to go, I could get up and fly to Norway for a week, right? And so especially later on, right? Especially when life is what it is, then you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go to freaking Norway this week, you know? Maybe not
I
every
would-
week, but
That's interesting. That's weird. How like I'm sure Stint. I'll make sure Stint like comes to this segment if he wants to get ideas for stuff. Should we move on to the actual Marvel League now?
yeah, but we only have 2 events. I figured we
Why
shoot
not?
the ship for a second. You know, just hear Yak's
Um,
brain go off and my brain go off. But I don't even know what the main point was. But good luck on the college stuff. If you're applying, are you applying to like Northeastern by any chance?
Yeah, that's what I was saying because I was applying a couple Ivies, and that's when we got into the tangent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, Northeastern's not
Yeah.
an Ivy though. Are you applying to Northeastern, the college Northeastern?
Oh, no.
Because that's where I go. It's a pretty good school. So well, actually, very good.
I looked
now,
at it. I looked at it, but I wasn't. It wasn't me. So
Fair enough. It's kind of a very city vibe, and it's more for the co-op stuff, which worked out really well for me. So, but
yeah.
yeah, if you get into a college in Boston, we can I don't know, meet up with Stinth and have a dinner, something like that. But anyways, let's move on. We got events. We'll do the trivia stuff at the end with Yak. He's probably got some questions for us, but let's get into our 2 events. So we're gonna usually do as usual do the round table where we all rate the event, talk about how we feel about it, and then talk about any extra details we want about standings. So let's start with the 5-meter relay run.
My daughter Natalie was.
And we'll go with Yak first. So you're going to give a rating out of 10 and describe like how you felt about the event, and then you can talk about standings if you think they were important.
So I have 2 ratings for this. The first rating is my biased take, and that is a 0 out of 10, because not only did the Savage Speeders not win, but they didn't even make it past the first round.
I know, which is very crazy.
And it is, yeah. And so it is erased from my memory. It never happened. So when you ask me about the event, I say, "What are you talking about?" But my objective belief is, I actually thought it was like interesting. I thought it was okay until the finals. I liked that final race where Galactic just shot out, or whoever it was. I think it was Galactic just shot out, and like they had a great handoff from that like second handoff or something, and then they had an awful handoff going into the final thing, and they just lost it completely. I thought that was interesting, so I had to give it like a 7.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
For me, like those the handoffs like add so much dynamicism to this event compared to
That can't be a word.
hurdles. Like
That can't be a word.
dynamicism. Look it up real quick while I'm doing this. Anyways, so that like having like those handoffs really helps to actually like make some like shakeups in the actual event. Like a marble who could be so far ahead, and then suddenly they can be like, just lagging behind.
Okay, dynamicism.
So,
okay, stop. Dynamicism. Sorry, Wolf. Dynamicism is a word, but it doesn't mean what you had. You used it more as like an adjective for dynamic. But dynamicism is it's like a belief that reality is a dynamic, changing process rather than a set of static facts. So it's like a belief system, not like a hey, this is of a dynamic nature.
Oh.
Wait, let me look
Whatever.
this up. Good try, but I think that's good. That was actually the word. Adjective
That is
form
funny.
of
Okay, that's
dynamic.
what happens sometimes when you know a bunch of random things. Like your brain is like, ah, yes, this incredibly smart word. I don't remember what it means specifically, but I
No,
definitely know that it's in there.
dynamicity. Dynamicity might be the word you're looking. No, I
I've
don't
never
know.
heard
I don't
that
know.
word before.
I don't care anymore.
Well, point being, like that like moment where you mentioned like the I think it was like the Galactic, like they were like in the lead, and then suddenly they hand off so terribly, and then like Team Momo and I think it was Team Plasma, like they just like shot right ahead, and it's like, whoa, what? Like I was like standing up and like pog face, it's like, yo, what? It's so crazy. Obviously I'm a Momo fan, so I was biased in that. But I did kind of like have it somewhat spoiled by Twitter, somewhat. I had a feeling they were gonna win based on like an image that Momoakai put, but they didn't show what event it was from, so I was like, it could be a different event, but I get the feeling I know what it is. But even still, like, its relay is just solid. It's kind of like we talked about last time, Brendan, how the like 5 meter sprint is like just kind of so solid and hard to mess up that like the only there's really almost no room for improvement. The only thing here is like there was one run where I think Momo and the Raspberry Racers touched each other across the dividers, which I think we speculated for a long time, but that finally confirms that yeah, they are too low. I feel like on the one hand that adds a dynamic to it, like they're kind of like fighting each other along the track, but then it also interferes with their performance. So maybe I would say 9 out of 10 just because it's super solid, but like maybe the dividers being wider to keep them from touching each other would be better overall.
I'd love to see some heckling one of these days. Just going down, run faster, roll faster.
I don't know. I think the dividers, them being able to touch each other is interesting. I'm watching the Savage Speeders loss run. Oh, so frustrating. I don't know how that. Now they had won 5. They had not just done first place in 5 of 6 5 meter relays, and then and this of course makes it 5 out of 7 now. But even in the other one, I think they made some like progress. I think they got far. So this was just so unlike them. Like I don't know what was going on. And then they did well in other events that they shouldn't have. I don't know. It was very odd. So I don't really know what to necessarily say about the Savage Speeders here, but except that just something fell apart. Their handoffs were bad, right? Their handoffs were bad. Usually the Savage Speeders have a couple really good handoffs, and so they put themselves way ahead of the pack because the handoff, the more centered you are, and when you hit into the handoff knob or whatever, the faster with more force you're going to be able to put on that little knob. You see, it's like a little knob that sticks out. So you want to be centered on the track, right? So that you hit it at the most speed. If you're on the side of the track, then you have to hit the walls before you kind of come into the center towards the black thing, which means you're going to hit it with slightly sideways motion and lose some energy because you're on the rails. But if you're down the center, staying off the walls, and you don't have to ride the walls to hit the black thing, you hit it dead on, right on. That's why you get a good handoff. So they were not doing that in their early handoffs, and so it kind of went downhill for them pretty quickly, or pretty slowly. You know what I mean? But
I mean, I've also done like analysis on this before because I was talking with somebody about it. But like, I mean, I remember that when they used to keep track of the orders, it was always a thing of they kept the same order and it always worked out. And how always speeders have been usually like a comeback team, like they explode like the final 2 handoffs, and that's because of the order that they have. They've either had like Wizzy or Velocity and then like Swifty, but then they always transition into Rapidly for the third, and that's when usually it kicks back. They pick back in, and then Speedy in the anchor leg brings it home.
Yeah.
And I remember like in 2019 when they didn't win it, they changed that order. They had Wizzy in the anchor leg, and it just didn't work.
Can't do that.
Now we don't know what the order is now, but I think they switched it up because there weren't any explosive handoffs. There weren't any.
I noticed that.
Yeah, that's fair. That is something to keep in mind. Like, of course, also there's always just RNG, but like just keeping it in role play, it was probably the lineup change possibly that caused the less than stellar performance.
Yeah.
Ekanon is saying it's also F equals MA, so the heavier the marble, the better, and the more acceleration the marble has, the better. So no wall bumpage, and if you do, it's better to do it early. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what your point is there. As far as my
a joke
point,
about what happened last episode with all the science talk.
No, but it is true, right? And to some degree,
I know it is true. It is true.
But energy is lost when you're touching things, right? When you touch something else, when you rub against something else, you lose energy, right? So friction, that's more friction. It's really not F equals MA. It's more friction stuff. So, Interesting. Okay. But yeah, so I would say overall the event for me is what it is. Like to me, it's not as staple as 5 meter sprint, but it still is a staple. It's more of a staple to me than 5 meter hurdles. And so I believe this event for me is about a 9.5 out of 10. It just needs to be what it is. It's interesting to not see the speeders do well, but and then see like Momo in the finals. Momo's like a slow team. So with a Thunderbolt. So like it's weird to see that be our finals, but it was what it was. It was actually, I got an X on this event because, I thought the speeders would do well. I actually got the same amount of points as the computer. So unfortunately that means X. So, but it was an overall.
Oh, yeah, there's the moment right there. There's the moment. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Dude,
let's take a look at that again. You see on the Chrome,
Momo
there's
Thunderbolts
Galactic
in
way
black.
out in front. And let's see if we can see some angles in this last handoff, because maybe we'll get another sense about how handoffs need to go. So we start off, we'll watch it in 0.25 starting off, and relatively good handoffs from everybody. And then let's try to see Galactic. So Galactic was falling behind, but it seems like you see
Like
that
third.
whatever handoff was there on the third one, the third
Thunderbolts
marble.
they launched their peg out of the whole thing.
Yeah, but it's not even the Thunderbolts I'm looking at. I'm looking at Galactic here. Look at how Galactic, the third marble, comes out. You have such force that this marble literally bounces 2 times out, which means that whatever force was applied from the back marble was so straight in that sense. This is why he came out with so much speed, but I think he lost some control. You see him bouncing on the he hits 2 rails there, and look, see? Look where he's going. He's going down towards that top rail as he nears. And look, see how he has to hit that top rail? He hits it like right here and then rides that diagonal section to get back to the black thing right there. As opposed to, say, look at Momo on the far side. Momo's right down the middle. See? And see, look at Momo's launch point. This is actually I should take out the...
Oh, it's like flying through the air.
Look at it again. Look at it again. We're going to see it again. So watch closely. Okay, this is the third handoff. Boom. Galactic right down the center. Good handoff. They get big lead. Galactic hits the rail right at the top rail, the further rail, and then look, hits the near rail. So then bounces back towards the top rail and hits that right here, right? But see this little, again, barrier that brings you back towards that black pin on the middle? Look, he has to ride that whole thing to get back to the middle, which means he's coming across the black peg and losing speed on the rail here. But look at Momo. Momo's not on either wall right here and continues to go straight down. So you look at this handoff. Not a lot of airtime on Galactic. And so Galactic gets a slow handoff here, right? But look at Momo. Straight down the middle, not in any walls. Look at this airtime on Momo. You saw that huge hop there. And so Momo got out with major speed because he was not on the walls. And see, so Momo just went wild down there. Thunderbolt's the same kind of thing. And you can see why it changed so drastically. And of course, Momo beat out the Thunderbolts because the Thunderbolts aren't allowed to win events. So that's... I think that was a really cool race. I mean, it was wonderful to watch. I'd rather watch it with the Savage Beaters and the Cat's Eyes, but sure. I mean, congrats to Momo for being fast every once in a while.
Yeah, like just a solid event. I love it.
Standings wise, it kind of messed things up a little bit in a way that we weren't expecting, but these Bumblebees are still hanging on. These Bumblebees are still wild. We're going to take a more look at the standings when we look at our next event here, the most recent one. So let's turn it over back to WAF and then Yak to talk about Maze Run thoughts, opinions, ratings.
All right. So the actual event, when I was watching it, I actually kind of enjoyed it, honestly. Like it's an old like Hubalina one. It's kind of nostalgic, and like seeing them like running through like trying to get the right line, like the Savage Peters being in that lead, but they keep missing the opening, and then they get passed up by like the Team Galactic by the end, and it's like it must be infuriating for them. Like that is fun to me. But of course, some fans pointed out that, like, statistically, there are certain sides of the track that basically were guaranteed you were going to lose and like get last place, which I mean, like, yeah. And I have not looked at a lot of the stats in depth. Like, ultimately, I had a feeling that, yeah, there's going to be some sides that were going to be more favorable than others. I'm not as upset about it as other people. I don't know how you could accurately give consolation points for this. Personally, I think we just, like, it would be the thing that would resolve something like this is like how you determine who the order at the gate. Really, like how would you determine who starts where? Like, is it based on like their current standings? Like, would you put the ones who are lower down there in a more favorable spot so that they actually have a chance of catching up, or just done by random number generator? Like that's how I like as long as like they're like the reason for them a marble being put in the gate was like had a verifiable reason. I think number generator would probably be the best way to do it, just for fairness' sake. Then there you go. But maybe it would have been a good way to. Actually, you know what? This is a good way you could have started it. Started at a funnel. Have them go into a funnel, and then after coming out of the funnel, they start in the like a plinko board that then leads into the maze.
No, but funnels are so inconsistent on when marbles go in. You can never use a funnel. Funnels are off limits.
An orange funnel would like a small funnel.
No, but like the separation between the first and last marble can literally be, because especially the last marble kind of gets stuck circling. Dude, it could be a long time. I don't think a funnel is a good idea.
Also, then as well, like teams would have to put in a marble that's good at funnels, and as opposed to a marble that they think would they would do a good maze, and so you have that additional factor.
Well,
even if you have like a tiny funnel.
So what was acting on? What were we saying here? We were saying the left side was at a disadvantage.
Like I would say like
this leftmost marble jumped out to first place, and then so any mistake after that had nothing to do with left sideness. And in fact, I believe this marble here, which I think is the Pinky's marble, finished 5th. So I'm not understanding this already.
Like for me, the funnel thing is just like to keep them to start in the same spot. Like they come out like to get them to start in the same location without having them be in a separate order. And the funnel was meant to be short. Like it's not a perfect idea.
Side.
Like I was just like thinking of like how could they have done something to make sure that they all start in relatively the exact same spot, so that way it's considered fair enough.
Okay, well then, so the argument from Akinon that the right side is unfair, or like the Reddit post, I'd have to read that because I'm not understanding. Because like based on the structuring here, the leftmost side and the rightmost side have a symmetrical entrance point.
I think Brendan they meant like if you were standing behind the gate, so the left side would be the one closest to the stands.
Right. No, so the left side was good, but the left side got out to first place off the bat there, and he says the one on the right side is the one that always lost, but the one on the right side has like a symmetrical angle, so it's just correlation. It's not causation, right? So this left side marble and this right side marble start in the same symmetrical place based on how it's laid out. So it just happened to be that this marble lost a lot then. No, but literally look at the screen. I'm looking at it. Look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's an extra lane on the side of the raspberry racers and an extra lane on the side of the snowballs, or at least I think it's the pinkies, right? Mm-hmm. That extra lane on the right side has the ball bearing, so it looks like there's not as much space, but there's the same distance from the raspberry racers to the edge and the pinkies to the edge here. Which means that and then if you go down here, you see that first little gate is symmetrical. So if the pinkies on the near side can jump all the way out to first place, then the raspberry racers in theory could do the same thing and just did not. And so it just is. I'm literally streaming right here.
He doesn't know they're doing it on YouTube.
On YouTube. Oh no, but the YouTube kind of tends to wait.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm watching. I'm always watching it.
You can see it paused.
Yeah, you're good. We're good. Okay. But anyways, but like,
no, Edu, you're missing my point. Both of you are not listening to me. I'm going to say it again. Look at I'm on the screen here. I'm seeing 8 marbles in a line. Okay, the pinkies here are on the far left. The raspberry racers are on the far right. Okay. It doesn't matter regardless of how it's actually structured down below. Great, that's whatever. What I'm saying to you is the pinkies on the far left have an equal symmetrical angle to the coming track as the raspberry racers on the far right. They do, because it's all symmetrical. You could say, I don't like the outside lines, fine, but it's all symmetrical there. The pinkies have an equally difficult or easy chance to get out in front as the raspberry racers do, because of the symmetrical way it's set up. You see 8 lanes, and if you come down here to this little tunnel here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So it's an equal symmetrical chance for the raspberry racers and the pinkies. So by your logic, if the raspberry racers were at an unfair advantage and the pinkies should be at that same unfair advantage, because the track for a lot of distance is symmetrical. But if you look at the start here, the pinkies come down and they jump right forward into first place, which means that any mistake after this has not to do with the start, but has to do with the performance. The Raspberry Racers didn't jump out to first place, but they had a symmetrical chance compared to the pinkies, which just means that they happened to not, happened to not take first place, but it doesn't mean that they were at an unfair advantage, because if they were, so should the pinkies have been.
Wait, actually, pause it like the moment the gate drops. Like, see where like they like.
Okay. So wait, hang on, Wolf. I'm sorry, because now Akinon's trying to get in on this. So he's saying this is his point. He says clearly something about the far right lane caused the Razzies to be worse. Okay, well then what was it? But they weren't a half inch closer to the side, because I'm looking at it. So you can't just say, oh, clearly because 3 times it didn't work out. That's not a defense. You're not saying, okay, here's why. You're just saying maybe. But I'm literally looking at the picture. They're not a half inch closer. It's very clearly an equal distance. Just based on the symmetry, it's obviously an equal distance, right? Okay, so maybe I'll look at the next. And so maybe there's a different thing that we can see. But if you're going to say, no, that's not the case, well, then we have to see, okay, we have to come up with a reason then. There has to be a reason. You can't just say clearly there's something wrong. You have to see. You have to be able to describe what it is.
He says they hit a wall.
Where's this wall hit? Like is this like at the starting gate itself? Like, go back up. Where's?
Well, I just watched the first one. I'm saying that your initial defense, you've made no argument, Akinon. You can't just get mad at me in the chat. You're doing all caps in the chat, but you didn't make an argument. You're just saying it must be something wrong with no defense for it. So you can't just do that and then get mad at me because, okay, fine, you think something a certain way. Well, then make an argument, make a defense for it. Say here's why, right? You're not doing that. So don't get mad at me.
There's an image. Let me look.
Let's look again at this. Fine. Fine. Just to honor Akronon's thoughts, let's slow down and we'll look at all 3 starts. Okay. In the meantime, let's see. Let's look. Well, you're low again.
I see what he's saying.
Sorry. No.
So if you look at look at the Reddit post, or if you just there's an image. Let me paste that image because it actually shows like Green Eyes straight up hitting the wall.
Okay. Let's break let's I'll look at the Reddit post later. Okay.
There's the image.
So let's
put it in the live chat.
Okay, but hang on.
And it may not have. Yeah.
Let's look at the 3 starts. Okay, and then let's discuss. Then we'll look at the Reddit post. So we can see if there's a problem, what the problem is, okay? Because clearly we have to still deal with the fact that the pinkies had the same possibility for problem, yet came out in first place from the start, right? So there's obviously something going on here beyond just whatever he's talking about. So let's see that. So let's look at the picture here, by the way. I hate this freaking table. So here's the picture. You can see that we have 8 lanes, right? And 8 lanes come down to 6 lanes under this tunnel, which means that the wall that you're discussing, okay, I did not notice it, Jesus. The wall that you're discussing is in front of both the Raspberry Racers here on the right side and the Pinkies here on the left. Now, is that unfair to both of those marbles? Yeah, I'd say it could be slightly unfair in design. I'm not going to pretend like that's not the case. Okay, but then that unfairness is for both the Pinkies and the Raspberry Racers. The wall's there for both of them. The Pinkies are right down on that left wall, and the Raspberry Racers are right down on that right wall. That's true. Okay, they both have no, but you're not acknowledging what's in front of you, Akinon. Stop with the all caps unless you have facts. That's true. I'm looking at the thing. They both have the same problem to address, and that is that for some reason that little wall there in front of them. The Pinkies address it pretty well. You see the Pinkies come out, and instead of holding to their left lane, actually cross all the way into the lane right to the right and are able to jump kind of through that gap. They make a big diagonal cross there into the tunnel right to the right of the wall in front of them. The Raspberry Racers don't do that, so they get hurt by that because they didn't try to cross over to the middle. They didn't make that cross. Now you could say that's because there's a slight angle problem in the first initial down ramp, and so maybe that does make the right side a little like that right side, that Raspberry Racer lane, unfair. But that would not be just simply because it is, but because it would be something we can't really verify, but maybe it's because of that, okay? Because the raspberry racers got stuck on the wall. The pinkies had the same wall, yet were able to avoid it, okay?
Well, hold on. So like it is kind of hard to like. Is it like is Green Eye like hitting? Like, is it like a slanted wall there? Because like it looks like they should be still able to fit underneath there.
No, but look, well, if you have 8 lanes, but it's converging to 6 lanes,
right?
So the positions 1 and 8 are both face the same disadvantage. Okay, the only disadvantage that 8 might have more than 1 is a slight simple problem in the lateral angle of the initial ramp. That's the only problem that can be faced, because if there was no lateral angle issue, there was no problem other than the simple design of this tunnel with the 2 walls, then the number 1 position and the number 8 position should have faced the same disadvantage and therefore produced the same results. So the error is not necessarily there. The error might be in the ramp perfect levelness, okay? But we don't necessarily know that.
Actually, so this is here's a funny thing I noticed as we're doing this. That ramp is the Marble League sign.
It's kind of funny.
Which means that remember that one event where it fell and hit one of its corners on the ground, and it's probably been used for multiple years?
Oh, yeah.
So it probably isn't level.
It probably isn't perfect. Okay, and that's possible. But even in the simple setting up of it, it could be imperfect in this leaning. But
unless it's a tip, like it gets to even benefit of the doubt. It's possible they had multiples of those, and that is not the actual sign. But just look at it. I'm pretty sure it is the sign. Pretty sure.
Okay, let's see what the Green Eye situation was, because here's the deal. We've had we're gonna watch 2 different lane 8 starts. The Raspberry Racers did not have the Green Eye problem. They didn't run into the right side of the wall like I guess we're about to see. They simply hit off the marble to the right of them, I guess it would be from their vantage point. And so therefore weren't able to push all the way over into lane, which for them it would be the 7th lane, so that they could avoid hitting that wall. For them, it was simply contact between the marble, but they came out and went down pretty straight, holding to their lane, right? The Pinkies, on the other hand, in their release, they actually came down and were able to get in front of the number 2 marble in order so that they could bounce through. And actually, they got a pretty nice bounce. So let's see what happens here with the Heat 2. I'm sure Akinon's doing some all caps, but again, making no sense.
Well, he's looking that stuff up. So, and now they're back.
So here's the deal. So where's Green Eye at?
Far left. Okay,
so here's the deal with Green Eye. And this is where it's interesting to me, because let's watch the near marble. Let's watch the gliding glaciers. So Green Eye clearly comes down in the lane and then bounces off the wall there. That's very obvious. He didn't actually cross over and hit the wall on the left here. He bounced off the wall actually right in front of him. He went down straight. He went exactly as he should have went down. Let's see what the gliding glaciers do. So the glaciers, again, were able to cross over enough to fit into this gap, right? They didn't come down and hit their wall in their lane, right? Because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 yellow troughs, which means the gliding glaciers, if they stayed in their own trough, would have hit their wall right here too. Okay, that's how it's designed. I think they were all
side by side, so they had to be, right? Like,
right. No, but the gliding glaciers clearly pushed over enough, just like the Pinkies did in that first run that we watched, that they were able to actually get through the gap. They were able to get through the gap over here in lane 2. Now, I think that's simply error in the sign, because obviously the lane 1 has enough lateral tilt to it that the gliding glaciers can get through this hole, right? But clearly the far lane, the lateral tilt is off, or it's not enough to push the Green Eye back towards the slot in lane 2. So I think on that basis, you could say lane 8 was unfair, but not necessarily because of the walls, because lane 1 didn't have that problem, even though they had the wall, but because of the tilt of the sign. Which I guess is.
But did you notice, like on that replay, how Green Eye just like slammed straight into it?
That's what I'm describing. I'm explaining that. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm not basically saying what you said, because again, what you do is you see something and you say this must be unfair, and then I'm like, okay, explain to me why, and you can't explain it. Clearly it is. That's what you say. That's not an explanation. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with saying a whole event is unfair, a whole lane is unfair, just because clearly it is. So no, I'm not saying what you said first. You didn't have any good reasoning. I have read what you said. Trust me, I'm not impressed by it. Okay, if you're going to make a claim, because this is a big deal. It's a big deal to have unfairness. Okay, so if you're going to make the claim, then support it. Then have a no. This is not an explanation. This is you just looking at data. Okay.
Like, it's definitely not a good design.
No, but see, you said this after I already said this. I'm talking about what you said at first, and then you said, "Hey, it's just because clearly it is." Like,
man, I didn't realize people were this heated about this event. Honestly, like, here's the thing for me: that block, it very clear. Like, they what they should have done was to have a less sudden convergence into the 6 lanes.
No, I just don't like your method, Akhenaten. I just don't like your method. Your method is always, hey, this is true, with no explanation, and then when pushed, maybe you get to an explanation. I don't like the order of your method. This should have been the start. And you said, what did you say? 2 teams in lane 1. The teams in lane 1, because they fell at the start at the angle. Yes. Okay, when they fell straight, notice how they did not start with a spin. There's no reason for them to spin to the middle. Therefore, the teams in the outside lanes more so 8. But you didn't say this at first. This is at 225 after I've already basically had been saying this. I've been talking about the pinkies, and you were just yelling at me and saying, no, clearly it's unfair because it is unfair. This came a lot later. All right? So, I mean, like, your method is always annoying.
Oh, boy. All right, now let's just rein it back in.
No, but you should have led with that. And so because you didn't lead with that, then I had to go look at it myself to see that. I mean, is that not true? What, am I missing something off?
Like, from what I've been trying to. Okay, here's everything I've gathered from this conversation. Akhenaten was talking about only one specific lane at the time,
right, and therefore missed out on actually explaining it.
And then they left to go actually figure out more about it. Yes, they did miss some of your middle explanations, sure, but like, there is no point in getting angry about Akhenaten. Like he's explaining it now.
No, but see, what bothers me is that he'll come in with an opinion, like a big opinion, like this is true, this is definitely what it is, but he won't have the explanation, and then he finally goes and finds it great. But like, you came in already with this attitude, like, okay, this is what it is. Well, if you do that, well, then be able to have a reasoning for it that actually shows that it is that. That's what bothers me. I think that is what actually bothers me.
I'll be honest. I've been selling out.
Okay. Anyway,
I don't even know. I haven't even been involved. I don't know.
Like this is getting off the rails. Let's just bring it back to the event itself. Here, let's look at the facts here. On the edge lanes are running into a block that completely stops all forward momentum. That is true. That is a bad design, having him go straight into it. They should have had a maze section first that led into that 6-lane convergence which would result in a smoother transition.
I agree. I think
for fairness in the gate, they should have done a random number generator to give each marble a chance to be in certain spots, or doing something like I suggested, like a funnel method or something to make sure that all the marbles are essentially starting in the same spot.
Well, they also didn't even need to do I don't know what this thing is where they have to converge it to 6 lanes and then back out to 8. I mean, I don't know what the point of that was. They should have just taken out this middle white section. They should have just left it 8 full lanes for all this distance, and then you have to converge to these 2 down here. Then it would have been fair, right? Because then when they all come and converge together and start knocking into each other, then you can't really claim that it's fair for the inside or the outside. It's just based on who is fast enough there and stuff like that. So I think that's better. Design-wise, it was as unfair for 1 as it was for 8. Okay, as unfair for 1 as it was for 8. Okay, and then because of maybe the tilt of the sign, or like you said, the oldness of the sign or whatever, the sign caused it to be a little more faint for lane 1. Actually, not because of an imperfection in the sign on the lane 8 side, but because of an imperfection on the lane 1 side that caused the lane 1 marble to angle in towards lane 2 on the start. So,
actually, wait, yeah, the corner of the sign that hit the ground was the one at lane 1, so it possibly is dovetailed up a little bit. Which would naturally want to cause him to move into the
because it would cause
lane.
some incline. So that's very possible. So simply, the whole thing that can explain the whole thing well and where the unfairness is now. No, you shouldn't have the walls there, okay? But there was a little more nuance to it than saying, oh, okay, it must be only lane 8 problematically. We have to look at all the details. That's all I was saying, okay? And so, like, if I were to, like, make a case for it, I would make the case by looking at all these details first, right? That's all. Anyway, moving on from that. Sorry to both of you two. You know when Akanon goes, and me and him argue, so it's just kind of part of the show, I guess, now. But let's move on. Let's let you guys finish your analysis of Maze Run and give it a rating.
Okay, was I in the middle? I think I was going at the
Yeah, I
time,
think
so I'll
so.
Continue. Gazi pointed out a great thing here. This was picked by the patrons. This is something that the fans wanted, like having a Hubalino tournament, like event like this. And I agree, it was nice to see this old classic from a really long time ago. I personally was not like admittedly I didn't notice the lane imperfections, but even now noticing it, like it doesn't like completely ruin the event for me. It like to the point of requiring consolation points. I think that's a bit egregious. I don't know. Like I ultimately like yeah, it's a flawed design in the event, but I get the feeling the gate was probably determined randomly, not by any scientific method, but probably just them putting marbles in. So it's not like they intended for it to be biased any one way or the other. And I think trying to quantify how many consolation points you're supposed to give a team, I think would be kind of difficult here. Like how many points should they receive? Like just 2, 1? Like would it be for both? Like every marble who was in the far left and right lane? I don't know. Like to me, I just enjoyed watching the marbles going down, seeing them like get hung up and and then having to get dislodged or failing to get dislodged by marbles. Something I love about the first heat actually was like they showed one of the ball bearings running near the end, and like there was actually a second ball bearing that was stuck. So it's like I gotta go save my friend. I find that charming. It's a style like the aesthetic of it. Like I think because the blue like panel too. It's very reminiscent of the old Marble League aesthetic, and I kind of miss that. It felt nostalgic. I think there are some problems with the design. They shouldn't have used the banner as the ramp, if assuming that what it is, and I'm pretty sure it is, because that's room for imperfections. But I would say overall, like I still enjoyed it. I would say 6. How about 6.5 out of 10? How about that?
Fair
It's
enough.
fun, but it has room for improvement, and it needed some kinks ironed out.
Yak?
I've always liked the maze events. Unlike you, so I actually was excited to see it return. And I mean, of course, ignoring everything that happened now, I'd have to give it a solid 7.5 because I like seeing all that stuff that happens. If you look at all the stuff that's going on now, then I would have to lower it down to a 6. But I think it was still for me a very enjoyable event. Um, it was an enjoyable event. I didn't like how the final wasn't. I mean, it was close with the 3 marbles going right next to each other, but like they weren't. It wasn't like a 2016 hurdles where it was like neck and neck. I mean, you could tell who was finishing what order, which I don't necessarily love, but I mean, I still thought it was a good event.
All right, fair enough. Good insight on that. I think I'm not a big maze run guy for this reason, because I think that if you look deeply at the maze run, even if you take away that blatant unfairness at the beginning, like there's always something about it that's like very RNG based, very luck based, some unfairnesses in certain places. I just don't like it. I don't like it for that reason. I think this maze was a lot better than the first one, because this maze was not just the same thing where like they fall into those U-shaped curves and they just go back and forth until eventually one of them falls down. There was some of that at the end, but that was all right because it was exciting. Like they had a lot of different types of tracks in the seesaw. So I think this maze was better, but I just don't like the event. I can't believe the patrons chose this. I mean, was Collision not on the list? I mean, come on, guys. I mean, what was on the list, Wuff?
I mean, I'm not a patron, so I don't
Oh,
know.
you stopped being a patron.
I've stopped being a patron like 2 years ago, my God.
I don't know. But if anyone is, like, I mean, well, I don't know what was on that list, but if
it may not have been a list. It may have just been them at like giving a suggestion, and like a lot of the fans kept asking for Maze Race.
I think I can't believe that asked for Maze Race. Asked for Collision. Asked for
Maze Race was from the Hubelinos, so it was kind of like, kind of a throwback to that.
They're probably asking for like what event would you want that is basically been discontinued that you like to see back, because Collision isn't discontinued. It's still a thing that exists.
I guess, but
They didn't have it last year. Yeah. Actually, they did have last year. I'm stupid. I'm sorry.
They did have last year. The year before they did. So, but yeah, I don't know. I just think it was kind of I guess it's fine. It's like a 6 out of 10 to me at best. A 6 out of usually it's a 4 out of 10, but I think this maze was better than the other one, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. For the unfairness, maybe a 5.5. So I mean, it was all right. So
I guess I guess there have been events where they've given out consolation points for less. So let's say like the standard 2 or 3 points. All right, I guess we'll keep that in mind. How about that? So like if you want to keep track of that, Akanon, go ahead, keep track and see. Let us know. Like Nordic's been keeping track of actually the standings the entire time of the steeplechase errors, of like how that would affect the standings. So let's add that on top of that just to see like if it does end up mattering, because like the standings are fairly close, but with 16 events, I get the feeling it's probably going to stratify more to where 2 and 3 may not make that much of a difference.
Yeah, I mean, standings wise, ice start wise, I got really lucky because my snowballs was my time 3 for Maze Run, and it was literally them who were able to actually smack into the midnight wisps and stun them enough, basically mid track, that they fell into 3rd place. So I just won against the computer because of that luckiness there. Ice Start went well for Maze Run barely, but it was so luck based. Otherwise, yeah, standings wise, I mean, you got a lot of good stuff up there. Bumblebee, Speed. I think the Speeders are going to win this season. I think at this point it's very clear that the Speeders are going to win this season. I think the Bumblebees are going to finish in I feel second, but second or third, right? So the other top 3 team. I mean, these O'Rangers are there, but what my worry with the O'Rangers is their performance in the later speed-based events. So that's why I think it is going to be a Cat's Eye Speeders Bumblebees podium. If I have to guess the podium right now, it's Cat's Eye Speeders Bumblebees. I'd put Speeders at the top, then Cat's Eyes, then Bumblebees. That is actually my guess for the podium. Speeders, Cat's Eyes, Bumblebees. Someone can write that down. We can see. I think the top 5 will have the O'Rangers and the Midnight Wisps. I think the Raspberry Racers are going to fall short of that, or the O'Rangers and the Galactic is going to make it up there. Midnight Wisps, Racers can kind of fill in the rest. Pinky, Snowballs, then you're getting down into other teams. So I think that's the most likeliness. The Speeders have been very on fire, and the Cat's Eyes have some more events coming up that they'll be able to be better at. Usually the Cat's Eyes are better than the Speeders in the Swing Wave. The Bumblebees might be able to pull a really good Swing Wave performance, and that's the thing, because the Speeders do struggle in the Swing Wave because they're fast, and the Cat's Eyes tend to sometimes as well, so we'll see. I like the O'Rangers.
Who do you think is going to get last?
For the Swing... the Thunderbolts probably. I think Plasma is faster than the Thunderbolts, so in the speed-based events at the end, Plasma and the Glaciers, for that matter, are going to stay above the Thunderbolts.
I actually think Plasma's going to, because they had a great start, but it's eerily similar to the Balls of Chaos from last year, so I actually think Plasma's going to keep falling.
We shall see.
We shall see. I just think Galactic has definitely 5th place possibility this year. They actually do, and it's so wonderful. I think it's gonna happen, but we'll see.
That's hilarious.
Anyways, that's the current events till now. We got 5 more events, and it could go many ways, and that's the wonderful thing. Winners could come all the way down from even the snowballs. The snowballs are, and even Rojo Rollers technically also do have a very clear chance to win. With 92 to 126, that's not a huge gap. Couple events that move a different way. Rojo Rollers could technically do it too. I think below that, it's kind of really hard. But the Rojo Rollers are probably not going to do it. Snowballs do have that chance. Snowballs are like one of those teams where it's like, okay, Snowballs, like they could do some stuff, right? So I'm not going to count them out, and nor the Pinkies, but they need to, of course, turn the Jets on here in these last 2 weird kind of events, last few weird events. We'll see.
Yeah,
I would love a Snowballs win.
I said this somewhere else, but I was talking about like the Snowballs, and I was saying the Snowballs are part of a group of teams who haven't been in the league for a while. And there's like 4 instances of teams who are in that situation. The Snowballs from this year, the Shining Swarm in 21, Primary in 22, Rojo Rollers in 21. And the goal of each of those teams, in my opinion, is not to win, but to see what they have so they can, compete next year.
Right.
So, for instance, in 21, the Shining Swarm saw that they had a lot of great individual members and they had the pieces. They just didn't put them together then. They had, they did really good Shimmer got second in Sand Rally. Sterling got second in Funnels. They were able to do good in diving. They had the pieces, they just couldn't put them together. And then in 22, they put them together and got a second place overall and actually made a run at the title for a brief period there. But I think the Snowballs this year need to figure out what pieces do they have. And I think so far we can say they have Snowy, they have Snowstorm, they have Snow Blast, because those three have all gotten individual medals. But their team events are awful and they don't have good team, team unity. And that's something that they need to work on if they want to compete next year. But I think that they, if they need to, if they want to compete later, they need to figure out what they have now, because at the end of the day, when you're doing stuff in Showdown, you can't figure out you can't gauge on what you have. You only have one event and you're racing against B tier teams. You can't say, oh, we have a really great sprinter. Well, you're racing against the Turtle Sliders. What does it matter? So I think that the Snowballs are doing good at figuring out what they have. And I think they can put it together next year to make a run next year.
And all those teams that you mentioned are, while not amazing yet, still in the regular Marble League, which means they do have what it takes to continue to be here. So that's nice.
Right. Well, besides Primary, but yeah.
Yeah, but then Primary is kind of like even the lore has a problem enjoying them. So, they're just kind of all over the place. But yeah, so I think that that's a good point. I think that the Snowballs have shown that they have a lot. So I think that we have a lot of individual events coming up. Because those last two events, those racing events, Strand Rally and Honey Dome, whatever the hell it was, like they're individual. I forget what's coming up. What's 14?
Elimination.
Oh, Elim. So that is also individual. And then Elim is 13. So what's 14?
G-Force Endurance. That's 14.
Okay, so there are 2 more team events, but 3 more individual. So if the Snowballs can pull out good performances in those 3, there's actually a good chance that they could stand up towards the top 3. So we'll see what they can do. I believe that they can do that. So we'll see. Good points, though, Super Yak. Anyway, this will bring us to the end of that part. We're kind of going long, but Yak's got some trivia game for us. So let's do that, and then we'll wrap up for the day.
Do we want to play the trivia music?
Oh, yeah.
It's time for the trivia music. I forget how it goes.
Now it's time for the trivia segment. Come on now, let's go, go, go. Go, go, go.
You guys at home and in the stream and with us today can also play for trivia. Maybe Akanon can play and he can see if he can do better than me. He might. He knows stats probably more than me. Edu probably knows all of them. So we'll see if y'all can beat the Marble guy or beat the WAF in the trivia segment.
Okay,
go.
Now it's time for
show.
trivia segment. Come on now, let's go.
Go, go, go.
Yeah, so the WAF obviously did that better. So here we are in the trivia segment, I guess now. 2 times me and WAF have versed off by hosting of Super Yak, and again to remind you, just one more time, 2 times I have won against Mr. WAF. So we'll see if that streak continues into this 3rd one. Let's see what Yak's got for us.
Okay, so I have 5 questions, and yeah, we're just going to keep track of the questions you get correct and questions you get wrong. So our first question, this one is easier-ish. How many events from this year were in 2022?
Ooh. Let me think. Wait, the ones that haven't happened yet too, or so far?
Yes, everything like in the schedule events, and I'm counting on their account. Just for clarification, I am counting Legion, March Wave, and Swing Wave as the same thing. So.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I think we'll just send you our answers in text, and then you can like reveal them as you want to, so that me and Walt
Yeah,
have
just
the suspense
DM
of
them
that.
to me.
Yeah. Let me think.
All right.
Just DM them to me.
Let's think.
I should start putting on a time limit.
Yeah, a timer probably be good, honestly.
Let's see. And I'm not looking at anybody answers in the chat either. Let's see. God, this is hard. I'm going with it. I'm messaging Yak right now. Oh, that's hard.
All right. Yeah, I'm taking the closest guess. Neither of y'all were correct, but Brendan was closest.
Yes.
He said 11. Brendan said 11. Waff said 7. The correct answer was 10.
Oh.
So
I thought it was 11.
you were close. Next question. Snowstorm won triathlon this earlier. And this marked this marked the blank individual event Snowstorm has competed. What number of individual events
How many
has
he's
Snowstorm
competed in?
Yeah, individual events. Don't worry about duos or anything like that. Like, because I'm in the Marble League.
Oh man, wow.
So think about it. Snowballs haven't been in the league when they did duo events.
I know.
And you'll have I'll give you 40 seconds on this one.
I feel like this could be a trick question. It could be one, but we'll see. I don't know. This is hard. I feel like Waff's gonna get this. I feel like Waff has the power right now.
I think I actually do have this one.
Okay. So, both of your answers are in. I will. Where's my sheet? Okay. Brendan said 2.
I said 1.
Waff said 1.
I said 1. What are you talking
And the
about?
correct answer.
I said 2. He said 1.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Brendan said 1. Waff said 2. The correct answer was 3.
All right, there you go, Waff.
So Waff got
Snowstorm
a
is a
point
newer
there.
member of the team, so they haven't had as many chances to compete.
Well, it's not that they're an original member. They just haven't competed in very many.
Oh, they are? I knew they changed
No.
up one of them.
Snowstorm. Yeah. Well, they dropped Snowflake and Snow, I believe. So.
Okay.
That's a tough one. All right, keep it up.
All right. Next question. One of the podiumists in the 2023 relay also made the finals of the 2019 relay. You could call this an anti-speeders boost. Which team was this?
Oh, I feel like I know this. Oh, but do I know this? Oh, I'm actually... Okay, this is what I'm actually saying. I don't know.
I call it an anti-speeders boost because they only made the finals one other time besides
Akanon
those
already
2
knows.
events.
He just said 2 out of 3. Oh.
Hmm.
I think I knew. I think I got it. I don't know. Come on, Waff.
I'll go. Okay, I put this one with.
Better not be looking it up, kid.
I ain't.
All right. Both of your answers are in. And actually, both of y'all got it correct. The answer was Thunderbolts.
Yes.
All right.
I do. I remember seeing the name. Nice. I'm 1 out of 3 technically, but me and Waff are tied with 2.
Yep.
That's crazy.
All right. The next question. With 80 points, which team has the second most relay points of all time?
Oh, you can't do me like that. Second most relay points of all time. 80 points. I feel like it's one of those things where I think I know and then I don't, and then Waff's gonna say like something ridiculous and then it's gonna be right. I don't know.
Man, that's a tough one.
I'm actually gonna go with nah. I'm gonna go with this. I'm just gonna go with this. It's
I'll
probably,
go with this as well.
I don't think it's right. I wanted to say Cat's Eyes. It just didn't though. Like I feel like that's too easy.
All right. Brendan said Galactic. Waff said Mellow Yellow.
Oh, good
the
answer.
correct answer was Team Momo.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
I feel
You were
like
insulting them earlier, Brendan. I was almost like
No, but you
Yeah.
had to wait because of the
Um,
question. I'm not a big Momo guy though.
I did, yeah.
Like I felt like
Um,
there was something. I mean, they kind of said that, but I was like, no, that can't be right. I should have
Rangers.
trusted
See,
that.
I almost
tiny,
went on
tiny
Rangers
voice.
too, Akron, because I feel like that's fair. I feel like they probably have a good amount of points, but Eliezer, you knew that. Eliezer, if you're going to give an answer, please put it in the spoiler box so that we aren't influenced. He's still, Akonon's still technically beating us. We'll see. Anyway, go ahead, Yak. Fifth question.
all right.
Me and Waff are
Yes,
tied.
our last question.
Well, it
Yes,
may
last
not be if we
question.
stay tied.
We'll see.
So there are 4 teams who have gotten 2 podiums in the first event of Marble League. One of them is the Savage Speeders. Name the other 3.
Wait, help us understand the question again.
So, in the first event of any Marble League, teams have gotten, there are 2 teams who have gotten more than 1 podium in it. There's 4 teams who have gotten more than 1 podium in it.
I'm not understanding.
Across multiple years.
Sorry, he's saying that like in Marble Leagues there have been like 4 teams who've gotten a podium finish in the first 2 events back to back.
No, in the first event.
Just the first event?
Oh, so you're saying
Yes,
that there are 4 teams that in first events have gotten a medal in more than 1 year.
Yes.
Okay.
One of them is the Savage Speeders. Name the other 3.
It's like the Savage Speeders got a medal in the first event of 2019 and the first event of 2023, and say another team might have gotten a medal in the first event of 2020 and then the first event of 2023. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So 4
the Savage
teams
Speeders got one of them. Name the other. Name the other 3 teams.
And I'm assuming it's a point per. Wait. Yeah, I told you to put a spoiler box around. Now I don't know if these are right or not.
I said my picks.
I don't know if these are right or not. So I don't know if I'm. Is it a point per? Is it a point per name, or you have to get all right or none right?
Point per team.
Yeah. See, I don't know if Eliezer's shit is right or not. I told him to use a spoiler box. So it's kind of frustrating.
Oh, I'm sorry, I miscounted. There's 5. There's 4 teams. Sorry. There's 4 teams. There's Waff, you can change your answer if you want, because there's actually 5 teams. I miscounted. I'm sorry.
Okay, a 5 team.
Well,
so
my problem is like I didn't make sure not to look at the chat until I finished submitting, but now that I've seen the chat, I don't think it's fair for me to answer.
well, I saw the chat.
I actually haven't seen the chat. Let me look.
I've already
Okay,
seen
Let me
the
look
chat
and see what they are.
because I told Eliezer to not put that straight up, and he did. You couldn't use spoiler, then don't type it. I'm not sure, Lisa. I don't think there's anything wrong with the edit. I think whatever it was, Waff fixed it.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna how about just make it? I'm just gonna do the 4 that I think it could be. Those are my 4. We'll see.
I'll go with this.
Let me just double check my answers to make sure that I'm not, missing
Okay,
anything.
so I just clicked on Akonon's and realized that Eliezer did give the answers away, and I just didn't know. Whatever. This is cursed because he gave us the answers.
Well, actually, Eliezer doesn't have the correct answers.
Okay, then I guess Akonon doesn't either.
What did Akonon say?
Same thing.
Yeah. No. Akonon, you're missing. Okay, I hope that y'all didn't misunderstand the question like Akonon did. I'm saying that because I think Brendan understood the question correctly. Akonon made it sound like somebody who got Akonon. I think Eliezer too. You treated like teams who got a podium in the first event and the second event. I'm saying teams who got a podium in the first event in 2018, and then someone who got it, and then they also got a podium in the first event in 2023.
Right.
Oh.
So I had different answers. I also put Galactic because I was swayed by
That's not at all
Eliezer.
what I was thinking about.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Okay, wait. So why don't you
change your answers?
Well, let's do this. Let's go
You can
through
change
the
your
answers.
answers if you want.
Let's go through the answers, and then you have to maybe ask a different tiebreaker question because I don't want the tiebreaker to be a nonsense.
Okay.
But I think I actually like the question. I think it could be better stated, but I think it's a good question, so I enjoyed it. But yeah, I think it was
Okay.
clear.
Yeah. So should I just give a different question or
No, give us
Just
the
say
answer
that.
for fun, and then we'll just ignore the
Okay.
results.
I guess I'll go with that'll be my new picks then.
Okay. Yeah. Waff said Galactic Hazers Mellow Yellow and Team Momo. Brendan said Cat's Eyes Galactic Rangers Mellow Yellow. The answers were the Wisps, the Oceanics, the Razzies, and the Mellow Yellow.
Okay, so
So.
what did we both get? One?
Yeah, we both got
I
one.
think so.
Okay, so we're technically
Yeah.
still tied. So we have to go to another question. We just won't count this one. No one got this
Yeah.
one right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I have to find another question. Rant for a second. I need to think.
I don't
Momo
like it
is
when
the
the Savage
best.
Speeders are bad.
That is actually true.
Go Speeders. Speeders are going to win. We know the Speeders are going to win. The Bumblebees aren't going to beat the Speeders. It's a ridiculous thing to think.
Honestly, I think the Bumblebees could do it, and I want to see it.
No, I think the Bumblebees aren't going to do it, and I want to see it. Good argument.
I don't know, man.
Wait. In the meantime, I'm going to try. This is the first time trying the Tropical Protein Naked drink, which I've had right here on my desk for the stream. So I'm going to try it and give a feedback on it while we wait for another question.
Okay.
So it says on the bottle that there are juices from 3 apples, 1 1/4 bananas, a third of an orange, a hint of pineapple, and coconut milk. And it has protein in it. I'm smelling it. It smells very tropical. But it smells like more apple-y tropical than like coconut-y tropical.
Okay.
I just drank it. First sip. Honestly, it's not bad.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
I have the next question. So
All
It's
right.
pretty good, actually.
across
It's actually pretty freaking good.
across all the years of that the relay run has been done, there has not been a single repeat last place finisher. Name for me 4 of the last place finishers. You can name for me like all of them, but like I'll only be oh no, my
Then just 4. You can give 4 answers. That's
yeah.
Okay.
Give me four teams that have gotten last place in the relay
okay.
across all the years.
And you can't look it up, Akanon. Oh my god. I'm gonna go with my gut. That's definitely one. That's gotta be one. That's gotta be one. No, not that team. I almost said that team, but I realized that team's actually would not have gotten last. I gotta remember my teams. I want to say that, but I feel like that's gonna be wrong too. It definitely wouldn't be any of those teams, so I can rule them out. Oh, definitely this at some point. And then one more. Oh my god. Is this like a Quicksilver's type answer? You know what I mean? Like, this is a Quicksilver's.
I don't think even relay existed back then.
Yeah, no.
No comment. No comment.
See, the Quicksilvers never made it, and don't think into an actual league. So
They were in one. Just
first
one,
year, right?
pretty
No, I
sure.
thought they just got into qualifiers and they didn't get in.
No, Quicksilvers was like one of the like OG or like 2017, or actually no, maybe you're right. They made
They were
it for
qualifiers
then.
2017. They didn't make it. But it'll be funny. I'm trying to think. I know there's some badass teams. Like there's teams that are just bad.
That is
Like
not the
ooh,
phrase
like
ever.
this team. This team's no, but that team's not that slow. I gotta think about who's in like the showdown right now, and who's been kind of chilling there for a minute.
I got my picks.
I'm not quite done yet. I think I'm gonna go with this team. This is it. Will I be the continual defending champ of the trivia games, or will we be tied again and need another question, or will Waff win?
Let's see.
No, not Quicksilver's Akanon. They never made it in. Pinkies with snowballs. Ooh, that's kind of good. Oh, did they? And they got last in the relay, did they? Yeah, my answers are in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. So, all right, if everything will load. Okay.
This has gotta be it. Oh my god.
All right. Brendan says the Limers, the Oceanics, the Pinkies, and the Hornets. Waff says the Rojo Rollers,
Good
the Turtle
answer.
Sliders,
Good
the
answer.
Pinkies, and the Limers.
Good answer.
And all of them are in 2016, the Balls of Chaos. None of y'all have that.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good
In
answer.
2017, it was Team Primary.
That's a good answer
I don't believe any of
too.
y'all had that.
We should have put those.
Yeah. In 2019, it was the Oceanics, which
Nice.
Brendan had.
Yes, come on.
In 2020, it was the Crazy Cat's Eyes.
What?
Yeah, neither of y'all had.
The cats? I never would have guessed that.
Nah, in 2021, it was Mellow Yellow,
Oh no.
which
That's no way. it's
none of
Mellow
y'all
Yellow.
had. Yeah. And in 2022, it was the Green Ducks.
Oh, what?
Which-
I never would have guessed that.
No. Yeah, they were surprising. And in 2023, it was the Rojo Rollers.
No, we're
Which
tied
Waff had.
again. We're tied
Are you
again.
Are you kidding me?
No.
We can't win. We can't win.
Akanon says that 2019 was Wisps because they were disqualified.
Oh, in 2019, was it the Wisp for me?
No, what are they?
Oh, I looked at the standings after the event. It was the Midnight Wisps. It doesn't matter. Neither of y'all put the Wisps.
No, but doesn't that take away the Oceanics, or was that 18?
Oh no, it does take away the Oceanics.
Damn
Shoot.
it! Damn it! On a
so
freaking
Waff did win.
technicality.
Wait.
Shoot. And
Yeah.
curious, what
Bullshit.
would it
Bullshit.
have been without the Chocolatiers? It would have gotten last without the disqualification. So
Wait, but when was the Oceanics then?
they didn't. I messed up. I looked at it wrong. I looked at the standings after the event, not the standings in the event.
So check and confirm. Check and confirm the Rojo Rollers.
In 21. In 23. Yeah, the Rojo Rollers did get last place in 2023.
Damn it! So I'm gonna actually lose that. Oh, my first loss on a stupid ass thing.
Yeah, it's 1 point too.
Ah.
Wow. Damn it.
It's the birthday luck. It's the birthday.
That's so lucky too. Imagine saying Rojo Rollers. How did it not say Team Primary? They're a slow ass team. I didn't think about them.
Team Primary is the one that got disqualified because they messed up their handoff.
Yeah, good job, Akanon. You got
should've
3.
been
You also got 3 out of 4.
Damn it. Whatever.
Or was it
Whatever.
4?
Well, streaks come to an end. Streaks come to an end. If there was 10 questions, it would have been different.
Next time there will be 10 questions if I come back.
All right. Well, we got to
If it's still around.
Point, but I always
And I
love
think that concludes the trivia segment.
And it's time for the trivia segment. Now let's go back to the
Yep.
show.
Back to the
Wow,
show.
wow. Right? Like that?
No, that was a trivia segment. Now let's head back to the show. The show. Oh.
Oh, yeah. That was what I was thinking. So anyways, that's going to do it. So, Yak, any final thoughts? Thank you for doing the trivia and sharing everything you did today. Any final thoughts before WAP takes us out?
Go Speeders.
Go
I
Speeders.
hope they win.
They will. They will. All right, WAP.
All right, that's everything. Thank you so much for coming on, Yak. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
It's always fun.
Yes, indeed. And with that, we shall move on to the last events of Marble League. Roll on, Marble sports fans.